Stephanie Johnson's decision to announce her engagement to Alex Kyriakis is not just a tactical move, it is an emotional declaration of defiance. After weeks of fear, uncertainty, and the feeling of being watched, Stephanie no longer wants to live reactively. She wants to force the threat into the open, even if it means putting herself at risk. This choice reveals how deeply the stalking has affected her sense of control and safety. Alex's opposition is rooted in logic and fear for her well-being, while Steve Johnson's concern comes from experience. Steve has seen how dangerous it can be to provoke someone who already feels entitled to another person's life. Jeremy Horton's furious response adds a volatile emotional element to the situation. His anger suggests unresolved attachment and possibly guilt, jealousy, or regret. It is entirely possible that Jeremy is not the stalker but is emotionally destabilized by the engagement because it symbolizes a door closing on a future he once imagined. His reaction could also mean he recognizes patterns that remind him of past danger, or he fears that Stephanie is unknowingly walking into something far worse. Sophia Choi's storyline at Bayview exposes a much darker psychological portrait. Sophia does not simply manipulate for survival, she manipulates for dominance. Her use of Rachel Black shows how easily power shifts when fear and loneliness are involved. Rachel is a child seeking connection in an unfamiliar environment, and Sophia exploits that vulnerability with chilling precision. The money Rachel is seen holding may represent payment, leverage, or even hush money, but more importantly, it symbolizes how innocence becomes corrupted under pressure. Rachel hiding in Sophia's bed suggests a carefully orchestrated deception, one that relies on trust being abused. Ari Horton recognizing Sophia in her stalker disguise is a turning point. It reframes earlier events and raises the unsettling possibility that the stalking of Stephanie and Alex was never random. If Sophia has been orchestrating this, then her motive may be rooted in obsession, resentment, or a desire to insert herself into lives she believes she deserves access to. This revelation would transform Sophia from a troubled patient into a calculated threat, one capable of planning long games rather than impulsive acts. Liam Selejko's hospital scene operates on a quieter emotional frequency, but it may be one of the most consequential storylines. His refusal to let Sarah Horton examine his injured hand speaks volumes. This is not about pain tolerance, it is about fear of discovery. The injury could be the result of violence, self-defense, or participation in something illegal. The presence of the child complicates matters further. Liam's earlier statements about having a daughter do not align with the age of the child seen, suggesting either deception or a fractured family history he has intentionally obscured. Sarah's reaction is crucial here. As a doctor, she recognizes when someone is hiding the truth, and as a mother, she senses when a child may be caught in the middle of something dangerous. Even if Sarah outwardly respects Liam's refusal, her instincts will not allow her to ignore the warning signs. Reporting her concerns to Kayla Johnson could set off an investigation that Liam is not prepared for, potentially exposing secrets he has worked hard to bury. Leo Stark's desperation brings the week's themes of secrecy and moral compromise to a boiling point. Dmitri von Luskner's return is not just an inconvenience, it is an existential threat to Leo's carefully constructed life. Dmitri represents exposure, chaos, and the resurfacing of truths Leo would rather keep buried. Turning to Gwen Rizek von Luskner is both strategic and dangerous. Gwen understands Dmitri in a way few others do, but she also has her own history of betrayal and survival. Leo's request that she make Dmitri disappear again crosses into morally unforgivable territory. His offer of silence in exchange reveals just how damaging the secrets between them must be. This deal is not built on trust, it is built on mutual fear. If Gwen accepts, she risks repeating past mistakes and dragging herself back into darkness. If she refuses, Dmitri's presence could unravel everything. Either way, the consequences will ripple far beyond Leo and Gwen, potentially affecting multiple families in Salem. Taken together, these storylines paint a picture of a town on the edge. Every character is acting out of fear, desperation, or a need for control, and each decision carries long-term consequences. Engagement announcements become bait, friendships turn into weapons, injuries conceal crimes, and silence is traded like currency. The week of January 12th does not simply move plots forward. It lays the groundwork for revelations, betrayals, and irreversible damage that will echo through Salem long after the immediate danger passes.